In this question, we are given an orthographic projection, then we have to get it in isometric form. So if that is the diagram, then the sketch means we are going to have something like this. So with this sketch now being for the side view, then I can sketch it as to get it in isometric, how it's going to be. Now the point of view is taken from point A there that you can see from the front view and from the plan. So if we align it, so I'm trying to get the sketch, although it's supposed to be freehand drawing, but as you can see, I'm drawing it without dimension, just to show how it's going to be after construction. And this is what we are going to have. Now, from here now, it means this will be our isometric projection. So I put my dimensions so that from this we can be able to see our front view from our right hand side, our side view from our left hand side, then our plan from the top. So this is what we are going to have in isometric form if you are given two views of orthographic. Now I try to get the middle part there by dividing 75 by 2, then also removing it from 64 so that I can get my 26.5 distance between the two edges over there. Now the first thing to do is to get an horizontal line, but in this diagram I'm trying to use the full scale, unlike the last one I did. So I'm trying to use the full scale. So I draw my horizontal line like scale 1:1. So I draw my horizontal line, I mark a point. So, and I use my protractor to get our usual angle 30 degrees to the left and to the right, and our 90 degree upward. So that this can give me my isoplane left, then isoplane right, and also the vertical axis. So I join them together with a ruler to get my isoplane and to get my lines. Then I start taking the construction one after the other. So going with the sketch that I have there, so I started with the first line. So mind you, I'm using the old dimension, no scaling down. So 2 centimeter first. Then I mark my point of 15 since all the total width is 15. Then from that 15, I take 2 centimeter down too. So I have 2 centimeter from this place, 2 centimeter from there. Everything in total is 15. Then at the left hand side, that's 10 centimeter, which is that 100 that you can see from that sketch. Now, after doing this, I get the vertical also. The vertical there is 40, which is 4 centimeter vertically upward. Then I take my ruler and my set square so that I can get my lines from each of these points. So first of all, I get the vertical line from this 10 at the left hand side, vertically upward. Vertical line from this 2. Vertical line from the other 2 and from the other 15. Don't forget, everything is done with the help of set square and ruler. And I get my right isoplane and my left isoplane also from that same point of 4 centimeter, making sure that the ruler is always on the construction line and not shaked. So I extend all lines as fence line, as you can see from the diagram. Since this height is 4, the other height there will also be 4. So I get my fence line also from there, but I transfer my first construction line, I transfer it upward by putting my ruler on the construction line, then putting my ruler on it, so that I can be able to get that line upward there. So I put my set square on it, then I get my right isoplane from that point of 4 to my right. Mind you, it must be a faint line and it must be done accurately. Then I also, from this point of 15, that 15 that goes up there, I get my left isoplane from there too. So I have this structure there. Now what next? I also get one from the other 2, that down part, as you can see from the diagram. Mind you, everything goes with the sketch that you can see up there. So I draw my thick line for this part. I draw my thick line also for the other part, but before I do that, I take the height, which is 2 centimeter upward. So I draw a line of 2 centimeter and a line of 2 centimeter from these 2. I just take my ruler, then I join them together as thick line also. I join the other 2 parts also as thick line. Then I join the vertical part there as thick line, so that I can get the base at first before I now get the upper parts of the isometric projection. Now, taking the next part of the question, I have the distance there to be 2.6. That's where the structure is big. So I'm going to mark 2.65, then 2.65. 2.65 is in between 2.6 and 2.7 centimeter. So I join it together as a faint line. You can mark 2.6 if you are not sure which one you have to mark. Then after joining together, I also take 1.25. So 1.25 with my ruler also I mark from down. Then also from up, the next thing that I do here is to take my ruler still on the construction line, making sure that my ruler is on the line. Then I take my set square on the ruler. I drive it, then making sure it's from that point of 1.25. I draw my right isoplane. Then also from the other points there also, I get my right isoplane. I put my ruler on top because I'm saying that the radius there is not wide. So because I need to extend that line, so I put it on top of the line. And I also get that. Now the upper part now is a distance of 75. That's 7.5 centimeter. So I get it from this inner part of that 1.25. So I get my 7.5, I mark. So when I mark my 7.5 there, I also mark my 7.5 from the other points here of the same 1.25. So I join together as thick line, but the upper part there is not supposed to be a thick line. So I erase it, then I continue with the next part. So it's only these two down parts that will be thick line. Next, I continue. So I want to get vertical line from the 3 points of those 7.5. Now let me show you. Vertical line from this point here. Vertical line from the middle point there of that 7.5 there. Then vertical line from the last point here of this 7.5 also. That's 3 points. Now from those 3 points, the height is 65. That's 6.5 centimeters. So I mark 6.5, or rather I draw 6.5 from this point, 6.5 from this middle point, and 6.5 from the extreme points also. So from each point, 6.5 centimeters. 6.5 centimeters. Then I put my ruler still on the construction line. Then I take my set square. So with my set square and my ruler, I join my ruler still being aligned on the set square. I join the right isoplane together for the 6.5 and the left isoplane together for that also. Then still my set square on it, trying to extend the horizontal line upward a little bit. So I also put my set square on the ruler. I get my right isoplane from there. You can see how my ruler moves from down to up, but making sure the lines are also parallel. I also get my left isoplane also, so that these two can intersect up there. Now, from there is already 7.5, so I join them together, the top also as thick line. Now, what remains from that sketch that you can see up there, or from the diagram you can see up there, is for the middle part now. Now, let's continue and get the middle part. This is isometric projection, which is gotten from orthographic view. It's gotten from first angle orthographic projection, given two sides only. So I join these parts to be thick line, as you can see from the main diagram up there. Then trying to take out the faint lines that will not be necessary in this diagram. Up next is to get the middle parts of that structure, which I will be showing there now. In isometric projection, we make sure that it's only the main diagram that will be visible, while other lines should be as faint as possible. Now, the upper part there is 50. That inward part is 50. Distance between 50 and 75 is 25. Divided by 2, that's 1.25. So I'm making use of 1.25 distance so that I can mark this middle part. So it's going to be a square part. So we are going to see how it's going to be. Now, 1.25 downwards, 1.25 upwards, 1.25 upwards, 1.25 downwards. I join them together as faint line first. So I'm sure you can see that clearly. So I join them together as faint line. Next, 1.25 again from this line that I just drew. So 1.25 from each of them, 1.25, then 1.25. I join also. So in between, I can join them as thick line. Then the other one also 1.25. Then the other part too, taking the measurement accurately, 1.25. So I join them together as faint line also, as thick line. So making 1.25, 1.25, I join together as thick line. I join the other part together and the other part together. Now from here, I already have the last line, so I join. So this is the orthographic projection of or should I say isometric projection rather, isometric projection of a given structure. Initially, the diagram is given in orthographic, first angle orthographic projection. But what is being done? We convert it to what? Isometric. So when you see a diagram in orthographic view, how do you know what to do? It's firstly to sketch it out. How is it going to be? You imagine it to be in real life form. How is it going to be if this is in real life? If this is a block work, if this is a structure, how will I bring it out in isometric? Putting all the dimensions, using the scale. So this is how it's been done. This is an example. Do